Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Learn English at Home 79. I'm your host, Emma, and today we have a fun and exciting story about animals on a farm. Plus, we'll learn some useful new words together. Do you enjoy stories with animal characters? Leave us a comment and let us know your favorite.
Hi, Emma. I can't wait to share today's story. We'll also pause to explain new vocabulary, so don't worry if you hear a word you don't know. By the end, you'll be able to use these words in your own sentences. Ready to start?
Let's jump into the story. Once there was a farm, many animals lived there. One day they had a contest in the yard. Now, let's explain that word contest.
A contest is a game or a race where people or animals try to win. For example, you might have a spelling contest at school to see who spells words the best. So, on this farm, the animals wanted to win the contest in the yard.
Good explanation. And yard means the area of ground just outside a house or building. For example, children often play in the yard after school. So, all the animals gathered in the yard for their big contest.
Exactly! Practical tip. Try looking out your window and saying, "This is my yard," to remember the word. Now, let's see what happens next in the story.
The animals decided they would race from the barn to the farmer's garage. The barn and the garage were far apart. Let's explain garage and apart for our listeners.
A garage is a place where people keep their cars. For example, I parked my bike in the garage. And apart means two things are not close together. For example, my friend and I live apart in different cities. In the story, the barn and garage are far apart, so the race will be long.
That makes the contest more exciting, right? Racing a long distance can be a real challenge. Now, what was the prize for the race? The winner would qualify to win a bag full of apples as an award. Let's pause and explain the words qualify and award.
To qualify means to be good enough or to pass a test. For example, if you qualify for a sports team, it means you have the skills needed. An award is a prize you get when you do something well, like a trophy or medal. In this story, the winner qualifies to get an award, a bag of apples.
That sounds delicious. Awards don't always have to be medals. They can be anything special. Let's continue and see how the race begins. But the race did not start well. The cart with all the apples was not stable, and the animals had to repair it. Let's explain stable and repair.
When something is stable, it means it won't fall over easily. For example, a stable chair doesn't wobble. To repair something means to fix it if it's broken. For example, you repair your bike if the tire goes flat. In the story, the cart was not stable, so the animals had to repair it before the race could begin.
Great examples. Fixing problems together is important, just like the animals did. But then, something else happened with the apples. Next, the pup knocked over the apples. The pig yelled, "We are going to slip. We must clean up this mess." Here, pup and slip are important words. Let's explain them.
A pup is a young dog. For example, the pup likes to play with a ball. To slip means to slide and fall, often by accident. For example, be careful or you might slip on the wet floor. In the story, the animals could slip on the fallen apples.
Good advice: always watch out for messes on the floor. The pup felt bad and began to cry, so another animal helped her. The dog gave the pup a tissue to wipe her tears. Now, let's explain tissue.
A tissue is a soft paper you use to wipe your nose or tears. For example, I need a tissue when I have a cold. In the story, the pup gets a tissue to help her feel better.
That's so kind. It's important to help friends when they're sad. After things calmed down, the race could continue. Then the race resumed, but the duck tried to rob them and take all the apples. The cat said, "I will have you arrested." Let's pause and explain resume, rob, and arrest.
Resume means to start something again after stopping. For example, let's resume our lesson after a break. To rob is to steal something by force. For example, a thief robbed the store. Arrest means to catch someone who did something wrong. For example, the police arrested the thief.
So, the duck tried to rob the apples, and the cat wanted the duck to be arrested, but the duck had more to say. The duck said, "You can't convict me. You can't prove I took it. Let's explain convict."
To convict means to prove that someone did something bad, usually in a court. For example, he was convicted of the crime and sent to jail. In the story, the duck says you can't convict him because there is no proof.
It sounds like a real court case. But then, something unexpected interrupted the race. Suddenly, they heard an alarm coming from the barn. There was a fire. They got buckets of water to put out the fire. Let's explain alarm and bucket.
An alarm is a sound or signal that warns people of danger. For example, the fire alarm rang, so we left the building. A bucket is a round container for carrying things like water. For example, she filled the bucket with sand. In the story, the alarm helped warn the animals, and they used buckets to fight the fire.
That's great teamwork. Working together in emergencies is so important, but the story isn't over, yet someone comes to report on the festival. A journalist came to write a story about the festival and the race. The horse told her, "I am a special breed of horse." Let's explain journalist and breed.
A journalist is a person who writes news stories or reports. For example, the journalist interviewed the mayor. A breed is a group of animals of the same kind, like different breeds of dogs. For example, a poodle is a breed of dog. In the story, the horse is proud of his breed.
It's fun to learn about different kinds of animals. Finally, the pig sums up the day. The pig said, "It was somewhat hard to have the race, but we had fun. That is what's important. Let's explain somewhat."
Somewhat means a little bit, but not very much. For example, I was somewhat tired after the walk. In the story, the race was somewhat hard, but everyone enjoyed it.
That's a great lesson. Sometimes things are difficult, but fun and teamwork make everything better. Now, let's review the vocabulary we learned today. Let's go over today's new words. First, alarm, a warning sound. Example, I woke up when the alarm rang. Second, apart, not close together. My friends live apart in different cities.
Next, arresto, catch someone for doing something bad. The police arrested the man. Award, a prize. She won an award for drawing. Breed, a type of animal. A Labrador is a dog breed. Bucketta, round container. He filled the bucket with water.
Contest, a game or race. They had a singing contest. Convicto, proves someone did something wrong. He was convicted in court. Garage, a place for cars. My car is in the garage. Journalist, a news writer. The journalist asked questions.
Pupa, young dog. The pup barked loudly. Qualified, be good enough. She qualified for the finals. Repairto, fix. I repaired my bike. Resumeto, start again. Let's resume our lesson. Robto, steal. Someone robbed the bank.
Slipto, fall. He slipped on ice. Somewhat, a little. I'm somewhat hungry. Stablino, falling. This table is stable. Tissue, soft paper. Give me a tissue. Yard, the area outside a house. The kids played in the yard. To remember these words, try writing them on cards and saying them out loud. Practice with friends or use them in your own sentences. Let's connect this story to real life. Sometimes things go wrong, like in the animal race. We might face problems or accidents, but it's important to help each other and keep trying. Can you think of a time when teamwork helped you solve a problem?
That's a great question. Maybe you worked together with classmates on a project or helped your family at home. Working with others and using English can make every challenge easier and more fun. Share your story with us in the comments to practice your English.
We're almost out of time. Thank you for joining us to learn new words and enjoy our farm story. Remember, learning English is a journey. Every word you learn is a step forward. Don't forget to answer our question and practice today's vocabulary.
Yes, keep practicing every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. You'll be amazed at your progress. Stay positive, stay curious, and keep speaking English. We'll see you next time on Learn English at Home 79.
Here's a final tip. Use new words in your daily life. For example, describe your yard or talk about a contest you joined. The more you use English, the faster you'll improve. Bye for now and happy learning!